Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Times Square Kung Fu. I'm your host, Peter Glagowski, and with Frankie out on vacation right now, we're going to be taking a look at Shout Factory's recently released Shaw Brothers box sets. I have all 5 of the currently released ones, and while we're not doing a deep dive into any of the particular movies, I'm going to go over things like the package design, the selection available, the general picture quality of all of them, and some of the special features on there. Let's get into it. Having started to release these box sets in June, Shout has put out a monumental amount of Shaw films in a very short time frame. By the end of this year, over the course of 7 months, there will be 60 plus films available on Blu-ray from Shout. If you're someone that doesn't like every single era of Shaw, then, for instance, Volume 1 might not be the selection for you. This contains mostly films from the 60s. Volume 2, on the other hand, has early 70s films and is generally a better selection of movies. And then when you step up to Volume 3, it goes more into the late 70s and even has Clan of the White Lotus from 1980. So overall, this is probably the best selection for the most general audience. But then you get the Shout Factory website exclusive box sets of The Brave Archer and T. Lung and David Chang. Now, many people aren't too hot on Brave Archer, and I don't blame them because the series is kind of hit and miss when it comes to certain things. But in terms of the selection of movies, I would say the T. Lung and David Chang set is very, very good. As you can see with all of these, they have a nice hard box, and the package design itself is pretty solid. Especially the other box sets, they almost look like the old Celestial IVL releases in China. When it comes to how the films are housed, each movie typically shares a case with another movie. Save for Volume 1 and 3 that have only 11 movies, typically you're getting 2 discs per case. So that ends up being 6 cases in each set. Now, the Brave Archer collection only has 5 movies, so there's 5 individual cases. Each film has its own, it gets a printed poster for its art, and, you know, it looks nice. When it comes to picture quality, as you can see in this clip here, for the most part, these sets look pretty decent. Some movies look better than others, and generally speaking, Shout hasn't done any new restoration work. These are all the previous Celestial Masters that have been available since the DVD days. They do look better in HD, and in terms of Region 1 releases, this is probably the best they'll look for a while. The bit rates are generally pretty high, and the only discs that look bad are probably from source quality. As you can see in this clip from the water margin, it generally doesn't look very good. Even Clan of the White Lotus, surprisingly enough, is just a copy of the 88 films release from a few years back. It has way too much DNR and it kind of looks crappy, to be blunt. But even putting aside that picture quality, what Shout does very well here is with regard to audio quality. Now, none of these are newly remastered, but they're all presented in uncompressed audio. When we're talking in terms of what is available, in Shaw Brothers Classics Volume 1 and 2, about half of the set has English dubs available. Volume 3 ups that a bit to around 9 of the movies. And amazingly enough, in the T. Lung and David Chang set, every single film has an English dub available.
你干嘛？
What comes with that English dub as well is a separate set of subtitles. So if you're listening to the original Mandarin or Cantonese, depending on the film, there's a brand new translation that gets more accurate to what is being said. Whereas if you're listening to the English dub, then you have a set of subtitles that matches the English dub.
到此地为止了，也好，大家自己人何必客气呢？老三，明年见。哦，明年，有了谢大妹子啊，连老兄弟全不要了。
别胡说了，只要你来，我们随时准备恭候大驾。
哦
Okay, there's no need to be so formal.
All right, till next year.
Oh, next year? Now that you've found Julian, what do you want with old me?
Stop that kidding.
It's a nice touch that I don't see very often on a lot of these boutique releases. And while nothing's being done in terms of the restoration quality, at least the presentation is being given a nice touch there. When it comes to special features, this is where I think the shot sets really shine. Now, you're not getting as extensive of a package as something as Arrow's Shawscope volumes, but certain discs for these films have long recorded interviews or retrospectives from different authors about the impact of the certain films and the whole collective of Shaw. On Volume 1 in particular, there's a very extensive piece by Tony Raines that goes over Shaw's entire history. And on Volume 2, he has another one that talks about the horror films of Shaw. But one thing I'd like to point out here, which kind of irked me a bit, is with regards to Volume 3. So as you can see at the end here, the final package includes Shaolin Abbott and Shaolin Rescuers. That's all fine and dandy. Nothing wrong there. Where it starts to get a little muddled is with the list of details on the back. So for Shaolin Rescuers, it mentions Mandarin DTS HD Master Audio. That's incorrect. The film actually has a Cantonese track. The same goes for Clan of the White Lotus. For whatever reason, they either rushed this package out or they didn't double check their own work. Clan of the White Lotus is not a Mandarin language film. It never has been, and while there is a Mandarin track available on the IVL DVD, that's not what's used here. It is the Cantonese version. Volume 3, though, in particular, keeps the hits coming here, as you can see on these listed special features. So for Death Duel, they mention that the film has 2 audio commentaries. That's incorrect. There's only 1 listed on there. A lot of the packaging on the menus too, so for Shaolin Rescuers and Clan of the White Lotus that incorrectly say Mandarin, the menu says Mandarin as well. We even go further in that a few of these films have interviews available as special features, but they're not listed on the packaging at all. Even Shout's website has it listed incorrectly. When you get to the Brave Archer collection, the final film, Little Dragon Maiden, which technically isn't a Brave Archer movie, the box itself there says Mandarin DTS HD Master Audio when, again, that's incorrect. Shout's website actually has that listed as Cantonese, but omissions like this they look a little sloppy, honestly. You know, I do like the packaging and I appreciate the hard boxes and all that, but I would like more attention to detail given to these special features. It's especially jarring on the T. Lung and David Chang set where there's stills galleries included on every single film, but you wouldn't know that if you looked at the packaging. Now, Shout's website, again, has that corrected, but why are we leaving off these special features on the packaging? Allmenner's Brothers, as well, has an interview that's not mentioned anywhere. So, I just get the feeling that Shout may have grabbed a big catalog of Shaw films and wanted to get them out as quickly as possible and isn't doing the due diligence to make sure these sets are as accurate as possible. Generally speaking, the subtitles are very nice. and you know, there's some grammatical errors, but it's still readable. You get the intention, it works. When it comes to the packaging though, I kind of wish it was better, especially in regards to the artwork on this particular set that I'm holding. That's hideous. It's gonna be blunt. I like all the other artwork though. I'm not sure what artist did these, because Shout in its infinite wisdom hasn't listed that. But the drawings are nice. You get a good sense of what is included in the package, especially the Shaw Brothers Classics ones. Those look very, very good. And when you're holding them together, just like this, it creates a collage of Shaw's history that I think looks very, very nice on a shelf. It's also nice too that the spines have the same drawings, the tops have them. It's all very slick. So overall, I do believe these sets are worth picking up. While Arrow has shown that it'll go to greater lengths when doing restorations on films, even including brand new footage that hasn't been seen before, Shout's taking a more quantity over quality approach. Everything looks solid for the most part, and you're getting presentations of the films in possibly their best quality in the US thus far. But there's something more that could be done. At least the special features make up the slack in this regard, and there's a lot of good video essays and retrospectives and all that. The audio quality is generally pretty good, and the packaging is nice. What you're going to run into is with the two Shout exclusive sets, they're priced a little much. The T-Long and David Chang set might have the best selection of movies, but I wouldn't recommend anyone run out and spend $170 on that. That's a lot of money. The other sets though, not including Brave Archer, you can get those on Amazon generally for pretty cheap. I saw Volume 1 for $85, which that's pretty solid, especially just to have Bells of Death. So use your discretion when getting these. They're not bad, they could be better, and overall I do enjoy them. I'm happy to have these in my collection. With that said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Would you buy all of these sets? Do you think Shout can do better? Are we going to see another 17 of these next year? It'll be funny to see, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, peace.